Now let's look in this section 1.3 learning guide, and we're going to start out with number 1 pencil problem that says true or false, all rational numbers are integers. Now remember that rational numbers simply means that I have numbers that can be written as a fraction. So the number 5 I could write as 5 over 1, which means that that's a rational number. If I have the number 7/3, I would consider that a rational number. However, notice that 7/3 is not an integer. So that gives you at least a counterexample to prove that false. We do have some rational numbers that are integers, but not all. Next, let's look at reducing 60 over 108 to lowest terms. So 60 over 108, as I go to reduce it, the first thing I usually look for is to see if it's even, and I can at least go ahead and cut it in half. Now you could look for a greatest common factor between the two. That may take you a little bit of time. So I'm going to start out by reducing this at least by a factor of 2. The 60 is 30 times 2, 108 is 54 times 2. So I could cancel out those factors of 2. And notice again, I've got an even number over an even number, so let's do the same thing. 30 is 15 times 2. 54 is 27 times 2, so I can cancel out that factor of 2. And then the resulting fraction, the numerator and denominator are both divisible by 3. So 15 would be 5 times 3, 27 is 9 times 3, and my simplified fraction is 5/9. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Number 3 says to convert 12 and 7/16 to an improper fraction. Improper fraction is going to be a fraction written kind of like the solved problem, where I have a numerator that's larger than the denominator. Okay, so we're going to do this by taking, I'm going to write it similar to the way that they've already worked that out. Oops. So 12 and 7/16. The first thing that I'll do is multiply 16 times 12. So I'll have 16 times 12, and then we'll add the 7 to it, all over that same denominator of 16. Okay, so if I do 16 times 12, that's 192, plus 7 over 16 would be 199 over 16. Okay, pencil problem number 4. If we're going to express the rational number 7/20 as a decimal, now you would have a calculator, so you could simply type in 7 divided by 20, and that would give you a decimal value. I'm going to work it out by hand just to show you that way as well. But if I divide 7 by 20, notice that 20 is not going to go into 7 since it's larger than that. So I'm going to take a decimal place and go ahead and add a 0. Now 20 will go into 70, but let's make sure we place the decimal in the correct place. So 20 will go into 70 3 times. 3 times 20 is 60. And then I'm left with 10. Let's put another 0 there and bring it down. 2 will go into 100 5 times. And 5 times 20 gives me 100. So by hand, I would get 35 hundredths. You would get the same thing in your calculator. Okay, going on to 5a. Let's express 0.3, so 3/10 as a quotient of integers reduced to lowest terms. So 0.3 is the same thing as 3/10. So if I write that in fraction form, 3/10 can't be reduced, so we're done. If you actually look at the problem in front of it, 86 hundredths, I'd write as 86 over 100 and then reduce it that way. This one didn't need reducing though.